Hello, you're watching India Today Global with me, Shita Mitra, and as usual, I have with me our editor, Pranay Upadhyay, and today we're going to discuss the most public breakup of 2025, the ongoing feud between Donald Trump and Elon Musk. Now, the feud has a lot of elements, personal attacks, political threats, and also financial losses on both the sides. So, how did this happen? How is this going to escalate? We're going to look at all of that. So, beginning with the fact that, a lot of exchange has taken place on Twitter between the two leaders. What all has happened? Give us a recap of what all has happened between the two so far.
So, as you rightly, captured it, that it's the most famous, most talked about breakup, because once cozy bromance between Donald Trump and Elon Musk has now turned out into a social media slugfest. You can call it as a bare knuckle fight between these two tall figures with huge, humongous ego. We are yet to see that how it will pan out, but certainly there's a lot of dirt, a lot of mud, and mud sledging on social media. Lots of things have been spoken about each other, and both are using their respective social media platforms.
Yes.
So Elon Musk, is super active on Twitter, on X, and Donald Trump has posted and made certain comments on his Truth Social. So this is how has been last 12 hours, and this all happened within this last 12 hours. But Ishita, there is more to it.
Okay.
Because this is more than what it meets the eyes, because this all started much before that. It's not about a bill alone. It's not about the policies of Trump. Somewhere I think friction started between the inner coterie of President Donald Trump.
Okay.
Look, in any case, President Donald Trump has diverse set of people, his own set of people, and that happens in the case of any administration. The way, Elon Musk had a wildcard entry in MAGA team. So once he was super buddies for the MAGA and President Donald Trump, he in fact said on the same social media platform, Ishita, once that I really loved real Donald Trump.
As much as a straight man can love.
Absolutely. So this is how he used to express his opinion. But now everything went south, the relationship is sour. And this all started happening, I think, with the friction which started off on the policy issues, as in President Donald Trump announced the deportation of immigrants. Then Elon Musk expresses a reservation about that policy, because he himself is an immigrant. Like any other American businessman, corporate owner, he also need manpower, and most of the manpower come from as an immigrant. So that's why it's basically the business interest when it start hurting the relationship, when going sour. Then on tariff policies and the ego clashes between his President Donald Trump's Treasury Secretary and other people, those who are in the inner coterie of President Donald Trump. Though so far Donald Trump has given a lot of space to Elon Musk, and this is a very unique proposition for the US political landscape. On one side, you have the most powerful politician on the planet. On the other side, you have the richest man on earth.
Yes.
So, this slugfest between these two individuals is going to be very dirty if they decide to extend. So, this is how been last 12 hours. President Donald Trump, while addressing presser with the incoming, with the visiting German Chancellor, he said this thing that so far Musk has showed restraint, but I can expect direct attack on me. I wish he could have attacked me, but not the bill, because he was totally in consultation with that, which later on Musk denied. He said that I was never told about this bill. I was never kept in loop as far as these tax cuts are concerned, and he's trying to make it a case where he is criticizing Donald Trump's big, beautiful bill as pork abomination, all sorts of adjectives he has used, that this is going to drag US economy into a deep debt trap.
All right, clearly there is an ego clash here,
Yes.
and also differences on economic interests and policy checks as well. So, what we have seen so far is that if you look at the way both of them have reacted, there's a difference.
Yes.
Trump has taken a very calculated, measured approach. He's, shown restraint, something we do not expect from Donald Trump. He also mentioned that that this is that we do not share a good relationship. We did share a good relationship, but it might not continue. Very toned down response. Whereas Musk went all guns blazing. He's dropped the Epstein bomb. He's talked about impeachment of Donald Trump,
Yes.
and he's also talked about launching another political party. So how do you look at the difference between the way both of them have reacted so far?
It's a Cybertruck overdrive for Elon Musk. While President Donald Trump is in his own limousine, which drives and sails on its own pace, if you compare from the road analogy and traffic analogy. But having said that, look, President Donald Trump, how tempted he might have been. But after all, he's the president of the United States. He has to show that restraint.
And this
It's
is also
not about
in line
an individual thing.
with the way he's reacted in his second term, compared to the first term.
Yes,
he's very toned down if you look at it.
Not exactly, I won't call it a tone down, but he knows, he could see that what damage it could, cause to his team, his tenure, and he has just started his tenure. It's not even been 6 months. So he has to be calculated about it. His response is measured so far, but we are yet to see. Look, it's not about a verbal volley. It's not about a slugfest between these two individuals on social media. But certainly, President Donald Trump, being the president of the United States, has a lot of power.
Exactly.
If he decides to exercise that power, this is going to be really very costly for Elon Musk. And he has already started losing, Ishita. He has already started losing his stock
Yes.
on market. Also, there are a lot of relief you can say that he has received after being on the side of President Donald Trump. There were 13 investigations which were on by various federal agencies against the Trump or against the Musk Corporation, his companies. He got a relief on that. So
do you think that could start again?
We don't know. We don't know yet. But if President decides to make it a personal, then certainly he can drive him to dogs.
Exactly. He does have an upper hand.
So he has an upper hand. On the other side, if you see, if you try and calculate, who has to lose more. Definitely, President Donald Trump, being the president, he has a lot of power, all sorts of power to launch an investigation, to embarrass Elon Musk. But on the other side, if you see, now Elon Musk is a free man. He has his own social media platform, Twitter, where he has said all sorts of things. He can continue embarrassing Donald Trump. And keeping in view the pictures which they shared till about few weeks ago.
Yes. He was given such a good farewell by the president.
Absolutely. I think that farewell, in retrospect, if you see, that a farewell was a cover-up exercise. President Donald Trump wanted to ensure that he leaves the team at a good note.
Because he did express his displeasure about the bill before as well.
Absolutely. But yesterday, he showed,
yes.
If you see Donald Trump's statement yesterday, he kind of showed that I can also spill the beans. I also know a lot of things. So there he mentioned about how he wanted a relief for electric vehicles in the bill, which is not possible to give because being president, he has to balance. He has to balance between different manufacturers. How it was all about Musk trying to get maximum benefit out of his association with Donald Trump and his team. Also, the way Musk suggested a name. He was canvassing for a NASA chief's name,
yes,
which
Trump did not agree to.
Trump did not agree to because of him being a Democrat. However, after this statement, Musk countered it. Musk, in fact, pulled out an old tweet of Donald Trump praising the candidate, and he said that, look, this is what this guy has to say.
Yeah.
So look, there's going to be a lot of mud, a lot of allegations we may see, unless there is a peace deal which someone has to intervene, someone has to broker, because both sides have to lose in this case. And besides that, Elon Musk, if he decides with his money power to fund the rival candidates.
Exactly, that could make a lot of difference.
Rival candidates, as in there is a midterm coming up.
Yes.
So for the midterm, if he decides, he can actually hurt President Donald Trump in his presidency, because if you see, Donald Trump is on an overdrive of policy because he knows that after a few months, when the system or the administration will go closer to the midterm elections, then it may change the scenario, the political landscape. And he doesn't want, because he has got the mandate, and not only the mandate with the majority popular vote, but also he got majority in Senate and House. So he doesn't want to lose that advantage.
All right. You know, things have certainly gone south for both of them, but this is not how it started. Just after the Pennsylvania attack, Elon Musk had pledged his whole support to Donald Trump. He was campaigning for him. He was pledging so much of money for him as well. So let's take a recap, and how did their friendship started?
They both come from business community. They both knew each other. In fact, Ishita, many people don't know that he was part of Trump's advisory council on climate change in 2017.
Okay.
And then also they fell apart. In 2016, when Trump was contesting election,
this is like an on and off toxic relationship.
Kind of relationship. But yes, in 2016, he did not support. And he, in fact, aired his opinion by saying that this guy lacked that presidential swagger. So he doesn't have that element. However, Donald Trump made it. Then there was some kind of a patch up. He brought him into that climate change advisory council, which they did not agree beyond a point. And then Elon Musk quit that. But his recent entry, during the campaign, which definitely gave a booster shot to Donald Trump.
Made a whole lot of difference for Trump.
Absolutely, which he said
exactly.
Which Musk says that without
won.
my support he would have not won, and it's like an ingratitude. This is what Donald Trump, Elon Musk said. So they had an on and off relationship, but the most differential element or event, you would say, would be the event where Elon Musk joined the Trump party. Like his election party, his election campaign, he was seen jumping and jubilous by being part of on Trump's team. And in fact, if you recall, Ishita, Kai Trump, granddaughter of Donald Trump, she posted on social media in the core family picture.
Yes.
Where Elon Musk was also there.
There were a lot of memes that Elon Musk has now taken the place of Melania Trump.
Absolutely.
Because she was absent.
Absolutely. So there was certainly I don't think so that this is all about a bill or a difference on a bill. There is certainly more than this.
Okay, something deeper.
Something deeper, something more damaging can come. And that Jeffrey Epstein file, which you mentioned, that is really kind of hitting Donald Trump below belt.
Exactly. And he also said, have a good day. That was the end of the tweet.
Absolutely.
So there is something bigger and deeper there. Now, you said that this fallout will impact both of them financially as well, and they could incur losses. So if you could just briefly explain that for viewers.
If you see in last 12 hours, when this feud started or when this brawl started coming on the social media, and they both of them hurling allegations against each other or making choices of remarks against each other. So after that, the Tesla Corporation started losing the valuation of their stock.
Okay.
And if you see last 12 hours or the last trading day, Elon Musk has already lost $150 billion. It's a huge amount massive in terms of the valuation. And for the first time, his corporation in recent past, for the first time, his valuation has come down less than $1 trillion. So which is a big thing.
Okay.
So he's the richest man. He has more to lose in terms of the money and corporation. But definitely Donald Trump and his business interests also took a hit.
Okay.
So it's not about money alone. It's about prestige also. It's about the political dividend. It's about the political, they both were invested in this relationship. So if they are having this breakup, definitely they both have to take a hit. They both have to lose. And obviously, Democrats or the Trump haters or his opponents will be waiting for this opportunity.
They're going to take advantage of this.
Absolutely. So see the kind of social media reaction which started coming up. So this clearly shows that this is people those who are sitting outside the arena are happy with this slugfest and this this kushti.
All right. Every relationship is a give and take. So we saw that Elon Musk helped Donald Trump in his campaigning a lot, whether it was, rallying for him or whether it was pledging more money. So do you think he expected something that Trump did not give him, and then now this fallout is a result of that? That Trump did not held up to his end of the bargain?
Whatever Elon Musk may say, but yeah, definitely he was looking for something more. He was definitely looking for something more because look, take an example of aerospace. NASA is the lead agency. NASA has government mandate on that. Elon Musk with his SpaceX corporation wanted to replace NASA. So all those ambitious plan, remember Trump's inauguration speech, there he mentioned about the Elon Musk and his ambitious plan to launch a Mars mission to take American astronauts to Mars, all those things. And thereafter now we see that how an individual was being pushed, whether Trump agreed or not agreed, or initially agreed and then disagreed, or he was advised to turn it down, we don't know. But definitely, Elon Musk was trying to get benefit out of this relationship, if you see. But having said that, there is another data point.
Okay.
Because if you see, where was Tesla Corporation's share before Trump assumed power? Say about before he was sworn in, he was inaugurated on 20th of January 2025. Before that, the Tesla Corporation share was at around $379 per share.
Okay.
And if you see the trajectory of that share in last 6 months, it never been able to reach that point. That is, today it is around $340.
Okay.
So, and besides that, Musk lost not only in terms of the capital, but his Tesla cars were being targeted.
Yes.
Not only in the US market, but even in Europe
Germany,
market,
France.
in Germany, France, European market, other places as well. So Musk might have had some second thought about that whether he want to continue. After all, he's also running a corporation. So
Yeah,
their board of directors are also
is
there.
benefiting
His
him
investors
or
are
not.
also there. They must be feeling that if nobody want to lose money, and America is a capitalist economy.
Yes.
So he might have had a second thought on that. But if you see in the financial losses for Musk, obviously he's a businessman and he might be looking at some more gains, and this big beautiful bill where he might be expecting some good relief, because initially, if you remember, Donald Trump, after his inauguration, he made a policy announcement that the era of EV, we are not for it.
Yeah.
I don't want to invest in EVs alone, and whatever the government mandate announced by the Biden administration, he's not going to continue that mandate. And but at that point of time, Elon Musk was part of Doge. He was helping Donald Trump. And yes, Donald Trump was right in praising Elon Musk on certain counts. Because if you see the kind of decision he took, the kind of measure, the kind of reforms he did, howsoever controversial they may have been, but he actually tried plugging on the wasteful expenditure, which was Trump's idea. But Musk was the guy who executed it. He put his technology, he put his techies into it,
Yes.
and he rolled it out. So he managed to do
identified
that.
all the loopholes.
Identified the loopholes, and it also suited President Donald Trump's political agenda.
Yes.
Hitting out at the Democrats or the left liberals, the deep state, and whatnot.
What we've seen so far is that Donald Trump, what he does is he goes for 100 and then he rolls back to 75, 50. So do you think this could also, move that way?
As we often talk, Ishita, that you should never forget that Donald Trump is, after all, a real estate, real estate businessman.
Yes.
So in the real estate, people normally start any proposition as if when you go for a house hunting, you might
That
get
you're
a
already
response
late.
that you're already late, you don't have anything left. But seeing your persistence, seeing your response, they might say that, okay, let me find something, and they'll always have this negotiation space for rising the prices, and then finding a negotiation point. If you see Trump's policy, he has always been so. In 2016 to 2020, his second term is also continuation of certain policies. Because if you see this visa ban, which he recently announced like around 2 days ago, he listed certain countries on whose citizens he is
Yes,
imposing
19
that
countries.
17 countries.
Oh yes, 17.
17 countries. So out of these 17 countries, he has announced, certain countries were already part of that list.
The previous ban.
2017, he announced that.
Okay, so most of his policies
So
have
these
been
19
continuation.
countries, you're right. Those 19 countries.
12 and 7.
Yeah,
like
12
full
and 7. Yeah,
partial.
12 and 7. So full ban on 12 countries. So this is a continuation of his old policies as well.
All right. So, my last question to you, because there was an interesting tweet that was posted by Kanye West saying that, please, brothers, don't do this. We love you so much. So, and, we saw that during India-Pakistan conflict, Trump was all ready to mediate.
Yes.
So the big question, who is going to mediate now, between Elon Musk and Donald Trump?
Not only India-Pakistan, he claims to be like he's seen as
Russia,
mediating into Russia-Ukraine, Israel-Hamas conflict, every conflict. And this is
He
what
wants to be the peacemaker.
Yes, he wants to be a peacemaker, deal maker, the biggest deal maker. But who's going to make deal between these two individuals?
Exactly.
And
who's going to ask them to de-escalate?
Absolutely. And a lot of memes are going on social media. I saw a fake tweet post from so-called Prime Minister Narendra Modi's
like
Twitter
a parody
handle.
account.
A parody account. Not exactly parody account. It's a fake template.
Okay.
It's a fake card. Which was being shared as a screenshot where there is a mention about after a late night phone call between Donald Trump and Elon Musk, they have decided to de-escalate and there is a ceasefire been announced. So it's like people are taking jibe on this, but we are yet to see. Like you mentioned about Kanye's tweet and social media post that. So this is definitely a big dent for the MAGA crowd.
Yes.
Because they were looking at Elon Musk,
Because
the
the
richest
term has
man.
just started.
This term has just started. People know that it is going to cause damage. This entire Republican camp has to lose a lot. And see, it's not about the supporters. It's about politicians also. Because Rand Paul has also criticized this big, beautiful bill.
Okay.
And Elon Musk kind of is siding with him. So there are fissures. There are problems about this bill as well.
Okay.
So if this is a trajectory, then it is going to make Donald Trump's path more difficult. If he has to get other bills passed, other reforms to be rolled out from the Capitol Hill. So he need to work out that. So I'm sure there will be some intervention. There could be, at least there has to be a ceasefire. Because right now they are shooting at each other.
Yes. All right, last question to you, because you did mention this. So, sir, do you think Donald Trump is biting more than he can chew? We have seen, him fighting battle against educational institutions. You have gender rights activists against him. You also have, fighting him on the immigration front, and then this one as well. So, do you think, he's taking more than he can take?
He always has carved out this image that I am the Bahubali, I can take on anyone. So why not multiple fronts at any point of time? So he has opened multiple fronts.
Yes.
Like with the courts, with the educational institutions, with the corporates, tariff policies, everything he has rolled out. That's why I said that he seems to be in a hurry.
Yes.
He seems to be in a hurry because he has to do all these reforms or to show something, and he's kind of a desperate as well, because whatever he has announced so far, it has turned out to be a mess in some way or other.
Yes.
Because if you see his tariff policies, no bilateral deal has been signed as yet.
Yes.
And after a court intervention or a court case, even if we have been talking to interlocutors in the diplomatic community, even our people, those who are talking with the United States, they are also kind of waiting for that court announcement, for the court verdicts, because nobody want to be seen as jumping on a policy decision which is yet to be decided by the courts. So his deportation policy, which he initially announced with lot of noises and voices, but he has to go slow on that. So his core agenda, be it illegal immigrant, be it tariff right. So people might see that he has opened a lot of fronts at simultaneously, but he is running short of time. He knows it very well, and that's why he is trying all possible tricks, all possible things, all possible options. But this comes as a disruption, this comes as a distraction, and this could detract.
Okay. Well, all right, viewers, this was the crux of what's going on between Elon Musk and Donald Trump, and of course, how it's going to escalate further. So thank you so much for joining us here on India Today Global. Stay tuned to our channel where we simplify geopolitics for you.